105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO. It is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by O'Quinn and Associates, Murphy Builder Supply, Van's Barbecue, and First Southern Bank.
Are you looking for an insurance company that you can call and talk to a live person? Are you looking for an insurance company where you can walk in and talk to an agent? Are you looking for an insurance company that offers multiple companies so they can try and get you the best rate? If you said yes to any of these, then you need to call or come by O'Quinn and Associates Insurance Financial Services. We offer multiple companies so we can find the best fit for you. Give us a call at 385-1000 or stop by our office at 212 South First Street right here in Jesup.
Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jesup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jesup.
When it comes to barbecue, Van's Barbecue in Jesup is the place to be. A small family-owned business located at 1876 on the Savannah Highway. Van's Barbecue has lunch and dinner specials. Stop by or call to make an order. The number to call, 427-3358. Van's Barbecue's new manager is Sarah Van. Van's Barbecue offers potato salad, coleslaw, baked beans, and don't forget their delicious mac and cheese. Also, check out their shrimp plates, the best in town. Yes, when it comes to the barbecue, head to Van's Barbecue, locally owned and operated. Stop by and tell them the Big Dog sent you. Once again, the number to order, 427-3358.
Hi, I'm Raymond Brown.
And I'm Mandy Yeomans. At First Southern Bank, our customers are like family. As a locally owned community bank, we're dedicated to helping our clients succeed.
We have loans for every need, whether it's personal or business. We have lines of credit, auto loans, equipment loans, and of course, we offer mortgages. Stop by our bank or call us at 912-588-1010 and see how First Southern Bank can help you.
Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Jesup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio. Here we are on this Thursday morning, the 8th day of December. Bob, and how's it going?
It's going good.
Going good? Feeling better?
Feeling better.
All right, getting back to normal, huh?
Eventually. It's been a struggle, but I'm getting there.
All right. I was just showing you a map here of the runoff election between Senator Warnock and Herschel Walker for the state of Georgia. They've got the state of Georgia with the 159 counties, and the ones who voted for majority for Herschel are in red, and the ones who voted majority for Senator Warnock in blue. And the blues are clustered. The red is just, vast majority of the counties themselves voted for Herschel Walker. It's just that, as we well know, that the concentration of the population in the state of Georgia, especially in the Atlanta area, plus a couple, 2 or 3 other places in the state of Georgia. But if you had to break it down, number of counties, it's overwhelmingly for Herschel, but that's not the way the population is in the state of Georgia. You've got, I think you said that Senator Warnock spent something like $80-something million on one TV station up in Atlanta.
WSB, not just Warnock, Herschel, I'll tell you. Between the two of them, they got $86 million in TV ads.
But the majority was, I think from what I saw on there, that Warnock spent about twice as much money as Herschel did when it came to advertising, because he had a lot more money, because he had tons of money coming in from big donors in New York State, California, and places like that. But the advertising paid off apparently for him in the Atlanta area, because if you take a look maybe at about 10 different counties just clustered right there, it was like a heart in the middle of the state in the upper part of Georgia there in the Atlanta area. They're all blue. And then you got some blue over there on the southwestern part of the state, and in the and some in the eastern part of the state, and down toward Chatham County and so forth. But vast majority of the counties, if you had to break it down county per county, was for Herschel. But you got these concentrated areas of blue where that majority of the population there voted for Senator Warnock. And it still just shows you how close it was. It was 51% for Senator Warnock, 49% for Herschel. That's still just like the way the country is. It's 1 or 2% either way nationwide in just about all the elections.
Well, this vote went down to racial lines. 85% of the blacks voted for Warnock and 75% of the whites voted for Herschel. So that's what the polling showed across the state of Georgia. So this was just divided among race.
And yep. So you had so many different divisions there, and that's the way the Georgia's basically reflecting the way the country is, where you've got lines drawn down certain ways. But it's the same way, if you take a look at the national elections, the state elections, and stuff like that. It's just we're a divided country when it comes to political beliefs. You got right 2% either way. It could be 52, it could be 48, it could be 40, 51, 49, like it was in this. And it's just amazing how close these elections are on a nationwide basis, where it comes down to, just a few votes when you compare the number of votes that are cast. Not a vast majority for anybody. Let's just put it that way. And so Senator Warnock will be the U.S. Senator for the state of Georgia for the next 6 years, beginning in January, finishing up his 2 years that he was elected for the last time. So it's just somebody was pointing that out to me. He said, "Look at all these red counties." I said, "Well, you got to go where the population centers are," and that's where it was done. And so a lot of money spent, a lot of mud was thrown, a lot of people believing there's no censors on advertising when it comes to political. They can basically say what they want to do, how they want to see it. They can, and so you just have to believe in a lot of folks who voted said, they vote party more than they vote the person, when they get down to the general election. Do you believe in the beliefs of the Republican Party? Do you believe in the beliefs of the Democrat Party? Do you believe in the conservatives? Do you believe in the liberals? And that's what a lot of folks have told me, that when they vote for a general election, that's what they vote for more than the candidate. Where the primary elections, where you're voting for the Republican nominee or the Democrat nominee, then they vote more for the person themselves.
I didn't want to run from the get-go, so I just...
there's a lot of folks feel, what would have happened if Herschel had stayed living there in Texas, and Gary Black more than likely would have been the nominee for the state of Georgia, because, he was agricultural commissioner. He had put his time in the state of Georgia. He had moved his way up through the Republican Party. He'd become agricultural commissioner for the state of Georgia. He was, at that time, before Herschel announced, the favorite to win. And then you had all these other Republicans win, Brian Kemp, the rest of them that ran for statewide offices. They all won, and won pretty easily. I want to say easily, maybe 40, maybe 52, 53%, somewhere along in there. With what would have happened if Gary Black would have gotten the nominee and nomination? What would have happened? Don't know.
Well, people want to know what would happen, too, if Herschel would have been on that bandwagon from the get-go with Brian Kemp and all those Republicans that travel statewide.
Right.
He wasn't there because who told him not to do it?
Trump.
So that's the problem. The problem is he got on the bandwagon too late, and too little too late. Again, it was a close race, but he lost. So a lot of people are just saying that that's a bad combination, that people are just turning away from that aspect of the Republican Party. But the question is, will the Republican Party walk away from it?
Well, there's a lot of Republican leaders right now who are speaking out against against Trump and his influence and stuff like that. You have some who are not, but you have a lot of Republican leaders on the nationwide basis that are saying, "Is he good for the party? Will he move us forward?" And there's some Republican leaders up there throughout the country are saying, maybe we need to move on to someone else or some others, So we'll see. Politics, it's just amazing how ugly it can get sometimes. Absolutely amazing. And it's been that way. You look back on elections throughout our history. I mean, there was people throwing mud at George Washington. There was people throwing mud at Teddy Roosevelt and at Abraham Lincoln. You look at all these elections out there, there's mud being thrown all the time. But with today's mass media, with television, radio, and with the social media and the internet and stuff like that, there's just so much more mud that's thrown. So much more. And there's no censor on it. So they basically can almost say anything they want, pay people to say just about anything, and there's nothing really you can do about it. They just, and people, I've always said before that a lot of those ads are to put fear and doubt in people's minds. Fear and doubt. If they can put some fear and doubt in there, if they can change 1% of the population that usually votes one way to another way, then they've succeeded.
The best news is those ads are finally off the air.
They're finally off the air. I agree. That's the good news, Bob. You get to the point where you just can't watch it. You see a political ad come, I don't care who the political ad was for. It could have been one way or the other. I had to tune it out because I know what goes into that process. It's like, you don't want to know what goes into politics like you don't want to know what goes into your sausage, okay? You don't know what, you don't know what's in there, but be us in the media, we know a little bit more about it, and we just, I just turn it. When I see it, I turn it. I don't care who it's for.
Can't watch 5 minutes of TV without seeing one of those ads, so just glad that's all over with. So.
Yeah. Because I know that you have to take every one of them with a grain of salt. That there may be some truth in there, there may not be some truth in there. There may be people who are paid off to say things. There may be some facts that are twisted and stuff like that. It's like when Purdue, our former senator, Purdue, when he was running against Jack Kingston, when he was running for Senate at that time. And all that mud he was throwing against Jack Kingston. And, we knew Jack. He was our congressman from this area for a long time. We knew his character and so forth. But the people in the Atlanta area, if they'd have saw Purdue's ads back then, same Republican Party. But if you'd have seen Purdue's ads on television up in the Atlanta area, man, you thought Jack Kingston was the biggest liberal in the face of the earth and all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's just bad, what goes into the campaigns. But it all comes down, the end justifies the means. You can, and they think that it doesn't matter what we do, what we say, how we twist stuff, what we do stuff, as long as we win.
The other good news is Herschel conceded. He's not saying it was rigged. He wasn't saying it was stolen. He got beat. So
he got beat.
He moved on. So
I guess he'll head back to Texas.
That's unique. not many politicians do that anymore.
Yeah,
they want to cry rigged election, stolen election.
Yeah, what?
Herschel just said we put up a good fight. Appreciate everybody supporting, but lost. Close race, a lot closer than what people thought it would be. So move on.
Yep. So just got to do the best we can here in the state of Georgia. Move forward. All right, let's see here. You got the trial, not the trial, but the sentencing hearing that you went to yesterday at the courthouse. Tell us the details on that once again.
Well, Judge Lane just lowered it 2 years. I mean, she pled guilty to aggravated assault, received a 20 years, served 12. Now it's 20 years, served 10. So gets credit for time served. She's been in jail 2 years, so that she'll have to serve 8 more years in prison. So
8 more years.
So she has to be held accountable. Party to the crime. That's the ruling by the judge. That's the law, the state of Georgia. So, as Judge Lane mentioned it, she was the orchestrator of the event. She didn't sell the drugs. So she didn't set up the meeting. Lester Dennison still be alive today. So, she's in jail for 10 more years, or 8 more years.
Okay, 8 more years.
That was the ruling. I said her defense attorney, Jonathan Lockwood, tried to get her probation and stated that she cooperated with the state's case as that's what she was asked to do, but the state really didn't have much. I mean, state didn't help her at all from what I saw yesterday. I mean, they admitted she testified truthfully, but that's about all they said. So they didn't really so much for helping the state's case. She didn't get much credit for that. So, so it is what it is. The judge makes the decision, and the judge made the decision. So.
Okay.
It was just sad to watch. I said, there's no winners in this. I mean, they said you have victims' families making impact statements, her family making impact statements. Like I said, she had a family here in Wayne County. She had a family in Aiken, South Carolina. Both said if she got out, she had a place to go. She had a job lined up. But I mean, she's on the stand crying and saying that Lester was her friend and she wanted justice for Lester. And I said she didn't take the advice of any attorney. They told her not to talk to GBI without an attorney present, but she did that. She came straight back after she found out Lester had been shot and killed, went to the GBI and gave a statement. Her statement's been the same pretty much from the get-go. I mean, her story hasn't changed, but it's just a sad story.
Yeah.
That 17-year-old kid shot over $20 or $40 in 2 Xanax pills.
And that's the tragedy here. Someone's dead. No one's held accountable for it.
That's what drug dealers do. They don't care about it. They don't have any life. I mean, they shot this guy over $40. Her boyfriend and father of her child, Tyler Wooten, tried to make it right. He said, look, here's the money. Take the money. Let it go. No, he put us on Snapchat and called us names, and we're going to see him. We're going to shoot him. So, I mean, it's just, that's what you get when you get involved in drugs. I tell you people all the time, if you get involved in drugs, you're going 2 places. You're going to jail or you're going to a grave. That's where you're going.
Yeah. You're going to die before you're 50 or you're going to serve a lot of time in jail.
I mean, these drug dealers, I mean, it's just sad to shoot somebody for $40. I mean, come on. But that's where we're at. That's what those people do. That's the world they live in. I mean, it's just a sad situation.
Yeah.
There's no winners. But the bottom line, too, Lester Dennison's family they get no justice. I mean, somebody shot and killed their son, and nobody's being held accountable for that.
Not at all.
So it's just a bad situation, sad situation, but you see it every day in court. If you ever want to, I mean, courts are open. You want to go down and see how the world is and see how sad it is, just go to court. Go to drug court one day, see how bad that situation is.
I bet.
I mean, it's just, glad I'm not in that world. I told you a long time ago, the commercial get high on sports, not drugs. It stuck.
Yeah, I think some people think, well, they're going to be the one person who can try it and for recreation, have some fun and get away from it. But once it gets a hold of you, you got to have the steel will to get away from it. A lot of people don't, and they just stay in that life. So the best thing to do is just never try, never do it, stay away from it.
Yeah, people ask me all the time, how did they walk? I told people that. The problem with the States case was Lester's friends. Lester's 3 friends all had different stories. They didn't unite and try to find Lester's killer. I mean, they wouldn't cooperate with the GBI. They wouldn't cooperate with law enforcement. They had different stories. They couldn't agree who made the 911 call. They couldn't agree who was with Lester, who wasn't with Lester. I mean, it's just a disaster. The States case was a disaster.
Yeah, there was no evidence.
The jury had no choice. I mean, you have to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, and the State's case was weak. The defense attorneys did a great job, and those 3 defendants walked. So, I mean, can't fault the jury. The jury followed the law. The law is you got to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt.
Right. Or you've said that many times before. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove in court.
Exactly. But it's a sad situation. Like I said, there's no winners. But Shayla Britton was hoping for a lighter sentence due to the fact she cooperated with the state. And I say she did cooperate with the state. Like I said, her story never changed. I mean, but, from listening to the trial, apparently neither her nor Tyler thought that those guys had guns, but they did when they came from Brunswick to Jesup. And apparently Lester's friends had guns as well. So it just turned into a bad situation.
I wonder what happened there. They got together, according to the testimony. The 2 guys fought. One of them gave in. They gave a little bro hug. It's over with. They started walking away. And then that's when it all broke loose. You thought the whole thing was over with, according to the testimony. And then something happened there. Some words were said. Something was happening. Next thing you know, someone shot.
According to testimony, one of the 2 men from Brunswick said, "Get stepping," and they started running. He started shooting, and I said, "That's the testimony." Somebody shot and killed him. He didn't shoot himself in the back. I promise you that.
No.
But it's it's just a sad story.
It is.
Sad case, but there's not much justice because whoever shot and killed him, as they said yesterday, got away with it.
Yep, that's what it looks like.
Just sad. I said, if you get time on your hand, you want to go watch some crazy stuff, go to the courthouse one day and watch it. You'll see some sad situations.
Sad stuff, huh? Especially when the drug courts.
Sad.
Well, let's move on to positive news here. The Wayne County Yellow Jacket varsity basketball teams yesterday before against Appling County.
Appling County.
Yeah, day before. Yeah.
Both the boys and girls are doing extremely well. Off to a good start and play Saturday at home against Brantley. So girls are going to Windsor today. It's only a varsity girls game. So, but the basketball teams are doing well. Wrestling teams are doing well. So sports are doing well in Wayne County.
Okay.
Looking forward to watching the playoff games tomorrow, the championship games.
That's right, the high school playoff games tomorrow.
Best game.
Ware County and BC from this area. You're still in it, right?
The best game is going to be that Warner Robins Ware County game. You know, Warner Robins.
Did they play this year already? Or in the same region?
I'm not sure.
They were last year when we were in it.
I guess they did. Ware's undefeated, so I'd imagine.
So I guess they beat Warner Robins during regular season then.
Warner Robins going for their third straight championship. So.
Third year in a row. Wow. Well, Ware County's going to have something to say to that because if Ware County's still undefeated, that means they beat them during the regular season. But that don't mean nothing when it comes to playoffs.
Glad I don't make that trip anymore. That's a long trip to Warner Robins.
Yeah.
And that was a long night last year.
Well, I guess when you drive up to Burke County this next year, you'll feel that way.
That's not as bad as Warner Robins.
It's not?
No. Huh. The Burke drive's not that bad of a drive.
Not that bad of a drive? Okay.
Go to Statesboro, hang a left, go by 40 miles down the road. It's right there on the left, so that's easy to get to. There's no easy way to get to Warner Robins.
You get on 341, Bob, and you keep going until you hit it.
I don't think so.
Or you go up a ways and turn right, get on the interstate and go over to it. But, 341 now is mainly 4-lane from here all the way up to Perry, then Warner Robins. You get on 341, Bob, it'll run you almost to it.
All I know about Warner Robins, they got a beautiful football stadium. Next to that's a cow pasture for a baseball field. That's all I remember.
Beautiful football stadium, cow pasture for baseball, huh? At Warner Robins High School.
Right next to one another.
You see where they put their money, right? Not evenly spread around, is it, Bob?
That's the way some schools are. Camden County used to be that way.
Speaking of new stuff, they have the dedication of the new track for high school going to be coming up soon. Big dedication ceremony going out there. Brand new track facilities. Finally, here in Jesup and Wayne County, we've got a track. We've got a brand new facility. It looks great right next to the high school there with the track surface and pole vault and high jump and triple jump and broad jump. Everything's all around it, so we can host some great track meets now.
A week from today is the dedication, 10 a.m., Thursday, December 15th.
Okay.
The public is invited, so be on hand for that next Thursday, 10 a.m.
Okay, it says Ware County and Warner Robins have not played this season, so somebody there must have moved divisions. Warner Robins, somebody must have moved up or down or something like that since Ware County. No, they couldn't have moved divisions because they're playing in the same. They must have changed regions. That's what it must have been. They must have changed regions this year then, if they didn't play each other this year. They were in the same region for the last 2 years because we were in it. Yeah. So somebody there must have changed regions.
It's going to be a good ball game.
Okay.
That Fitzgerald-Thompson game is going to be a good ball game tomorrow, 12 o'clock, too.
Okay.
If you watch that game, look for number 6 for Thompson. I think he's
number 6.
I think he's the fastest runner in the state of Georgia.
He's a speedster, huh?
Saw him last Friday in Baxley. They couldn't catch him. Guy can fly.
Put the pedal to the metal and he's gone, huh? Who was that?
80 yards in the cloud of dust.
No, 3 yards. It's $80 in the cloud of dust.
Looked like they shot him out of a cannon in one run. He's fast. His last name's Curry. Not sure what his first name is. So he doesn't have any offers, which is hard to believe. But if you watch that game tomorrow,
Fitzgerald's be somebody out there who wants some speed somewhere or for something. Yeah.
He could fly, that's for sure.
It's like you always said, speed, you either got it or you're chasing it.
They chased it all night Friday in Baxley. They didn't catch him.
He gone.
He scored 3 touchdowns.
Who was that masked man? That was the Thompson running back.
That's a good ball game. 20-14 was the final over there. It's a good ball game.
Oh, Appling did pretty good then.
Yeah. It was a good ball game. There. I said they fell behind 13-0 or 14-0, or no, 13-0. Came back and took the lead 14-13. So they lost 20-14.
Okay,
it's a good ball game.
It sounds like the way.
But If you watch the game tomorrow between Thompson and Fitzgerald, look for number 6.
Look for number 6 and see if he's that fast as you say he is, huh, Bob? Apparently they must have caught him because they only scored 20 points.
They didn't catch him much. He scored 3 touchdowns. One was 85 yards. In a blink of an eye, around the right end, gone. They tried to avoid him. They said they didn't kick to him. I mean, he runs punts and kicks off, so they made sure not to kick it to him, not to punt to him. But
yeah,
once you hand it to him in the backfield, you got to stop him, and they couldn't stop him.
All right. Or anything else going on, Bob?
Not that I know of. What's going on this weekend? That's what I want to know.
What do you mean what's going on this weekend?
Now, everything happened last weekend.
I don't know what's going on this weekend. We know we got Scriven next week, but I don't know if, there's got to be something going on, but there's nothing that, that we're promoting in any type of way that we know about.
Why did we jam everything last weekend?
I guess the powers that be didn't get together, Bob.
But
it works out fine. You've got the big parade, so people come to town. They can go to these events. I think it was smart putting it all together like that.
Don't get me started.
All right, I won't get you started, Bob. We'll let you, before you get on another soapbox, we'll let you go.
SEC championship game ain't changing, and another thing ain't going to change is those state soccer matches. How many teams we have out of town?
There's over 30,000 people in the county, Bob. Everybody can't do the same thing at the same time.
September 10th, great day for a parade.
September?
I'm sorry, December 10th.
No, they're not changing that, Bob. They did that one time. It didn't work out.
I'm going to throw it out there.
First.
Appeal. I said, what's going on this weekend? Nothing.
Dude. All right, Bob.
Nice
have a good day. All right, bye-bye. All right, the world-famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO, 105.5 FM in Jesup, brought to you by O'Quinn & Associates, Murphy Builder Supply, Van's Barbecue, and First Southern Bank.